Oop, nope, nope. We don't want to go that one, do we? No, we want to do
And
the
look,
other one.
there's the tail of the dog that did the deed.
Oh yeah, right, right. So right before we went live, that my dog ripped one. So
Yeah, it was the dog.
Real loud.
it was the dog.
Uh-huh.
That's a good point, actually. We don't know. We don't know.
It was the dog.
So, fun fact. I farted several times this morning in bed, and Chloe is really lovely, and she was up before me, so she brought me up a cup of tea. And she brought me up a cup of tea, put it on the bedside table. I was like, "Oh, thanks, hun." And then I just went, and she was just like, and just backed off. And then
I'm glad you roll like Arvine. You deserve it. You deserve it.
At least you didn't Dutch oven.
Next person.
Oh my god, I'm not a monster. Jeez. It is mean, but it's also a story to illustrate how lovely Chloe is.
It's okay. I want more curses of Idir or trump cards or anything to be directed specifically towards Neil, please. Please and thank you.
I'm saying you're lovely.
All right.
She doesn't believe you.
She does.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going. Let's move forward. So you, you're a terrible person. You, you guys finally make your way over towards the actual boat, and can start trying to. Was the plan for you to climb the boat, or what was the plan here?
Well, first of all, we were coming over here to get out of sight of things, and also to try and listen for anything on the boat, like what it is, if it's people, if it's the monster.
The monster
monster.
mash. So you guys go over there to see if you can find that. Did you sorry, you go over there to try to hide or whatever? You don't see any details. You don't hear anything. The creaking of the boat as it kind of sways back and forth. The tearing, not the tearing, but the almost like creaking or crunching sound of the ropes that tether the boat up. You can hear the the chain kind of clinking a little bit of the anchor that settled down into the side. You can the splashing of the water up against the boat. There's so much noise here that you can't hear anything, and now that you're hiding behind the boat, you can't really see anything either. It is one of those things where, because boats kind of move around a whole bunch, sometimes the boat kind of drifts over towards the wall that you guys are adjacent to, and you're like, yeah. But luckily there's wood there to stop it from completely squishing you.
Good. I was gonna say, yeah, that, but I assume there'd be something along the edge here we might be able to climb up.
Yes. Boats, of course, would have natural, like I said, things built into them, so that crew members could climb back up if they needed to. So you guys would be able to make your way along. Just do me a favor. It's a low DC, but make me a reflex save.
All of us.
Yeah, all of you.
I'm just refreshing roll 20 to try and refresh my luck.
It won't happen.
I don't believe you. This is how faith works, Scots.
I got the wrong person's luck. No, has to be the other one.
Reflex. There we go. It's above a 5. We'll take it.
It was you rolled.
Is that the new standard, above a 5?
Yeah.
So
Good.
So you make your way over along the side of the boat, trying to. Oh, Jake, are you happy with your 4, or are you gonna luck that?
That sounds like it might be a good idea to luck that.
How many lucks do we have?
Good question. Why don't you roll one and find out?
We
I mean,
ate
that
a
actually
lot.
would.
We ate a lot of them.
Yeah, but it would be a good idea if we do use one now. It would also tell us what we have to work with.
This is true.
Coffee's done.
Yeah, I'll luck it.
I reckon the DC is 5, so I'd say it's probably a good
I
idea.
was so disturbed by that face. I was too busy, just.
So this is what happens.
0 dice.
I knew how many was left in there.
You bastard!
So Jake, you make your way over to the Jake.
Wow.
You make your way over to the
We've never had 0.
I know, it's awesome. You don't know what last session was like there, Tesh. So you guys are making your way along the side of the boat over to where it is that there are these handholds that you'd be able to hold on to climb up. Now these handholds are like exterior, not like inlets, right? They're like things that you'd be able to grab onto. It's a bit slippery, but not a big deal. Valorant, I imagine one's actually the first one to do it. One has a bit of a hard time slipping and grabbing, pulling himself up, making sure that he's the first one to get up there because, you know, he's the best warrior amongst you. Especially right now, whereas Rayron seems to have forgotten how to hold his blade. So he makes his way up there and climbs onto the boat, but then crouches low and tucks himself to the side, trying to stay hidden. I'll take a stealth check from you, sir, while I'm talking to Valorant. Valorant, the next person to go is going to be climbing up the side of the boat and tucking yourself behind, again, a crate or a box. You actually have absolutely no problems whatsoever trying to hide or trying to climb up there. You don't slip or anything like that. You have a good handhold. You know, you've never been in the ocean. You've also grew up very inland, but you are used to being in musty basements and whatnot. So you're used to like kind of like a slick feeling. No issues. Rayron, you're climbing up there. Same idea. Not really having a hard time at all. When all of a sudden you slip, but as you slip, it happens to be one of the points in time where the boat's kind of like drifting itself back towards the wood, and you hit the back of your head extremely hard. So much so that it gives you an immediate daze. And it's one of those, you know you're holding the thing, you feel the slip, then you realize that you're floating in the water and trying not to break, to go underneath the water. So with a penalty, could you roll me a swim check really quickly?
I'd actually like to make the argument that you naturally float if you're on your back.
That sounds wonderful. I don't. Real life. And I was on varsity swim team. If I lie on my back in a pool, my face is underwater.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because Scott's so short, like his organs are so densely packed together.
It's because of all those rippling muscles, baby. Muscles so dense. Just pulls me
It's his
down.
broad shoulders. He just like lies there and he just pendulums down like this.
The benefit of being a large individual, natural life vest.
So you smash your head and sends you into a bit of a daze. We'll get to that in a second. When all of a sudden you start like, and it's one of those moments where you start pulling underwater and pulling yourself back out, coughing up the water, and then back under and coming back out, coughing up the water. The two of you look over the edge just in time to see as Rayron kind of like has like his balance, and you guys are looking down at him. He probably knows that you're looking at him.
That was with the days condition, by the way. I'd already applied it, so you don't have to apply any mine.
Perfect. And don't remove it, which is what I was saying I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So and you're stable. So it's kind of, I imagine, like one of those, oh, I'm okay, I'm good, as you stabilize yourself. Thank you, by the way. You start making your way back up the side of the ship if you'd like. Now, because of how hard you smacked your head, it didn't do damage to you, and you didn't drown. Luckily, good check there. But you are going to maintain that condition for a while. Okay.
It's one of those things where you hear that sound, the sound when someone pops their head really hard on something.
Super sexy. I won't tell you numbers because that would be cheating. But you guys do have luck in your pool right now.
Okay, good. Okay. So
That
we're
would
up
be
on the ship now?
cheating?
What'd you say?
So I need to try and climb again, basically.
No, you don't have to roll again. You're actually all set. And you climb up. Make me a stealth check once you get to the top, sir. I don't think Val gave me a stealth check yet.
Nope, not yet.
We don't play Darkson anymore, so I'm gonna have to eat this banana for you right now instead.
I have a minus. Wait, what? Why do I have a -2 to stealth? I don't have a -2. I have a +2.
It says +2 right there.
So why did I rolled a 14?
No, it's probably sometimes. Well,
I
actually, I
rolled
think
a
Ray
14.
rolled the 14.
Oh, he rolled a 14. Okay.
Yeah.
He just didn't roll mine for some reason.
So you guys climb up onto the ship and tuck yourselves behind some crates or boxes, whatever it is, staying relatively hidden. You don't hear anything else. Your head's ringing, Ray, but otherwise you guys are fine. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. What's your approach?
Perception?
Sure.
Yeah, like, can we see? Like, we know this boy had an awful lot of swords. If he's gone down anywhere, there's gonna be a bunch of swords around, right? I mean, I guess I'll roll the perception just so I can roll that. That's sexy one.
Under a 10. So, you're kneeling all day. So you
I
guys are
just
looking
rolled
about.
like 2 14s.
You guys are looking about, and it's actually what you end up hearing is it's actually below deck. Two of you, pretty sure you heard something like smash. Not like something super heavy or something super loud, but definitely loud enough that something must have been bumped into or moved, or maybe it was a shifting of the ship. But there was definitely like a small smash down below deck.
Okay, so now the wood on this deck wouldn't be strong enough to stop detect magic, would it? I'll pop the thing.
Go ahead.
Where are you? There you are.
I bet it would.
Oh,
See
mine
what I
actually.
did there? I bet it would.
There is no more presences of magic than what we were talking about beforehand.
Okay. It's not magic. So that's interesting. Was it with the creature before when we were fighting? Did I get? I mean, I guess I wasn't there to say I would have detect magic. So I don't know if it gave off magic
Well,
before.
We know that the sword was magic.
Yeah. So I guess
I'm
that's
willing
one thing.
to make an educated guess that the sword would give off some form of magical aura.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Balls in your court.
Well, if you can't detect the presence
We
of
play
the
basketball
sword,
here.
let's go.
Let's see.
It'd be funny if the best basketball players in Eroth were like the gnomes.
Can we use this a little bit more of a height advantage to have a better look at the environment of what's happening over like on shore?
My perception check was to cover everywhere, not just listening to the boats, to look over as well. You didn't see anything new or anything extra happening over in that region either.
Okay, so we don't. Yeah, okay.
So what you see is what you see there. And unfunny one, speak dirty like that again, and you get banned for life. Whew, that's some fighting words, man. Ain't nobody from Jersey around here. I mean, my brother and his fiance, they went to that nasty shithole, but ain't no Jersey people around here. Oof.
So we should start making our way in to check some of these buildings then. So let's like walk down the gangplank, I guess.
Sure. You want to like hop off and go actually along the safer area?
Boats are louder than stone.
Mm-hmm. Well, you and the big thing is, were you going to check down below deck to see if there was anything down there or no?
There is something down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's also apparently not giving off the magical field that we want. So
you're going to leave it alone? Perfect. So you guys hop off the ship as you were saying, except for one, he stays there, and you can start making your way along from here. Now here you don't have to worry about necessarily moving your tokens along the actual map.
Yeah, I actually prefer it when we say what we do and the DM moves us because
My roll 20 crashed. So.
if you rely on the moving for that, because I find otherwise the people end up moving at very different paces and it's
I agree. Yeah.
pretty schwank.
Yeah, I just punished you for your speech.
Where
there.
did you just go? What?
He got punished.
Scott moved me.
Where did you get? You're gone.
Scott, I didn't want to have to do this, but I've actually joined a union. And I demand that we all receive a fair wage of daddy per day.
Give me my daddies. All right,
Yeah, give me my daddies, bitch.
This is where he is. He's way over
It
here.
bothers. I know it's not an actual thing, but looking at this and seeing the grid slightly off the grid of the stone, I'm like,
It's funny because I'm pretty good at that most of the time. However, this map, this map,
I
it's,
understand. Yeah.
oh god, it's right in that spot. I'm like, oh, I couldn't fix it. I couldn't
It's fine.
fix it.
Don't
No,
worry.
no,
It's
no,
not
no,
friendly,
you don't
and I'm like,
understand. I spent a long time working on this. This is the day I was going to speak with Steve, I think, and I was like super late to the call because I was like trying to fix something.
Yeah, I completely understand. I understand that it would have been insanely hard to fix. It was just one of those things where I looked at it and I'm like, I tried to move my token into the square. I'm like, why can't I? What? Oh.
So that's usually why I use the purple or pink things because it stands out against.
It's better, yeah.
Or we can make it a little bit more fun. Hold on, and then let's get back to what we're doing.
So we would move along towards the building carefully.
Cool. And so you can do that. You don't have to worry about necessarily using your you don't have to worry about necessarily using the minis at this point. You guys are just kind of theater of the mind. You guys are able to move along the map and try to bring yourself over, looking about here and looking about there, trying to find out where this creature might be. I just want two things from you guys. A roll of perception or survival check. Sorry, Jake. I know you're the best at both. And a roll of a stealth check as you're moving yourselves along. Then to answer a query of mine, will you or won't you, that's right, it's a word, be using another sphere of silence?
I think we ought to, because we have 3 reasonably.
Yes.
This is the best sort of time to use them.
Yeah, and save the last one for like an expedient retreat.
Okay.
Yeah, or continuous searching.
Yeah.
So what roles did you want? Perception or survival?
Correct, and
then
stealth.
also a stealth. Yeah.
And stealth.
I'm not looking, I'm tracking. I know what sword footprints look like.
Okay. Does my bonus thing apply? Am I looking for tracks or anything? Following tracks or?
We know that the big sword boy would leave tracks because he doesn't float.
Correct.
All right. Well, then I'll roll survival.
As well as that bony creature.
Yes.
Jake, you are crushing it lately. I'm so happy for you because you have been consistently the worst person for 9 sessions, and you've been.
I'm conflicted.
It's just really nice.
I'm scared now because I had waited deliberately to see what he would roll in the hopes that I could then take the luck that he didn't use, and then he rolled.
Wow! Look at this team player right here.
Oh, that rolled off a 1.
Great.
It's okay. I'll get the 1 for you. Oh, I didn't get a 1, but I did roll kind of meh.
Divine punishment.
Try mad with a bonus is the way to be. And roll me your other trick, sir. Oh, you did. My apologies. I did. You did both like quickly. Okay.
See, I didn't Icarus there like Jake. Jake obviously rolled really high and then dropped back down. I sort of just picked the middle ground.
Yeah, but nobody's kneeling today except for you. So, you guys are making your way throughout the area, and honestly, Jake, you're the one that picks it up pretty quickly. You pick up really, really quickly, with the aid of the others as well, seeing the other tracks, the clear signs of fighting, and so on. You pick up pretty quickly the 2 different sized feet that are both overly large. Because remember, this creature looks like a medium-sized creature was made to a large-sized creature, but not like bloop, 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 proportionately made, but almost like different parts of them are stretched out in horrible ways. So the
like a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, it's like one foot is like kind of narrow but long, and the other one's only a little bit long but wicked fat. You know, so you see these 2 different sides moving about, and you can actually kind of see where those feet went off to. But more importantly, later on, you also see that the tracks. At first, you don't know what they are. You're like, oh, this must be just like some sort of imprint. But then you see them too often and in patterns of 2, meaning a pair, as in a pair of feet. And so you're like, oh, this is not some marking of something being dropped or whatever that is. This must be the bony feet that we were looking at beforehand. And that foot is really freaky looking. You almost imagine kind of like the way that an ostrich's foot would be, right? You imagine like a heel with almost like 3 talons into the ground. They are really, really freaky looking, but without any of the padding.
Can I speak?
Without any of the padding that you would see on the bottom of, say, a bird's foot, because they have a little bit of padding or flesh or whatever right at the bottom of their foot to protect their skin. Not here. This is just straight bone. So freaks you out a little, but you're able to see at least what was being described before. And then you see the area where the other one was summoned, the swirl inside the ground. There's 0 tracks except for another pair, and the 2 of them go walking off. Where they end up walking towards is, excuse me, I'm going to move you. Over to this door over here. 1 second, I'm just trying to, let me pull, shift pull. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Over to this door over here is where you can see them. I'm not sure who's standing in which order or whatever. I can definitely put the squares back on if you prefer to have them versus no square like this is right here. So whatever's better for your eyes.
I'm a square. I prefer square.
Yeah, no, I would rather have them, yeah.
It just provides that little bit of clarity, knowing exactly where we'll be.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Awesome.
I'm no square. Scott is.
So now we are wanting to follow the footprints of what we think is the monster, not the things I summoned.
Correct. But what I was saying is, it seems as though they like converge.
Oh fuck.
So, like, are we potentially going to go in there and find like a royal rumble going on?
Well, you're standing outside the door and listening. You don't really hear that quote-unquote royal rumble.
Probably because we're under the effect of a silence spell.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Bam!
Is there a keyhole we can look through?
My apologies. Is there a keyhole you can look through? There is a what's what I'm looking for? A door that's right there, but it doesn't seem to have a lock on it. Just latched shut.
Is it entirely flush, not warped at all?
Correct. No. You are correct because again, it's been worked on, so it's been replaced. So this isn't the original door. Otherwise, you would think, it's old as hell. It should definitely be beat up.
But I mean, we're under the effect of a silence spell, so we could literally just like and peek through, because there wouldn't be a.
That's true, actually.
Can I sift through the door and see if I can see anything on the other side of it?
Sure, that usually gives you more of a view of the door itself, but absolutely you can. I think you would take a -5, and I'm sure you're going to say, I'm going to guidance first.
I am.
He
Okay,
didn't
so it's a
say that,
-4.
he only said, I am. Oh, the rain has begun.
Oh, you
Yeah,
getting
I
weather?
smell the storm is a brewing. It's so humid here.
Oh, good
22.
for you.
Oh,
I'm
hey,
glad you're
that's-
getting the weather. A 22 with the -5. Jesus, buddy. Good for you.
Yeah. Our perceptive boy is perceptive again.
Yay! So what you're able to see is the door itself has no locks or anything like that on it. It is just a simple latch shut, and you can definitely see the tracks extend on the inside of the door as well. You don't see that there's any traps, anything onto the door, so nothing really jumps out at you.
My detect magic through the door.
Detecting magic through the door, you have it written just above. Let me just read something really quickly. Detect magic, it is stopped by, 1 foot of stone or 3 feet of wood. And the range is 60 feet. Okay, so it is not stopped by the materials in front of you. So you're able to, kind of walking up to it, one of you is just like placing your hand just barely off of the door and not quite touching it and sifting through. The other one is like picking their nose because they don't have the magic that works here. And the third one is peering through it for auras. And you can actually detect there is definitely conjuration happening inside there. It's stronger than what is permeating the rest of the area. Probably the recently conjured creature or creatures are inside here. But you can also sense the transmutation. That would be a magic item typically.
A transmutation, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
That was glorious to watch.
That sword arm monster in there is what that was. So yeah, that we know all 3 of them are in there. Are we going to take a peek at what's happening?
I think we ought to take a little peeky peek.
Because if they're working together, we are just leaving. We are straight up. We are out. We are picking another keep if that's the case.
Yeah, so one will step kind of to the side and motion Daelric forward. That was the plan, right?
Annoyingly, I'm the only one that can see them if they're invisible. So,
Are you gonna cast a spell, drink the potion, do whatever you gotta do to make it happen?
no, as in like, well, I can see the magic of them.
Gotcha.
Is what I mean.
Gotcha.
I can't actually see them, but I know that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically, I'm just, while we are still silent, I'm going to peer in, see what's going on. Oh my god, yep, those are what I thought they were. I was right.
It won't let me move it. Hold on. I can close this thing,
Jake, I was 100% right.
but it won't let me move the actual thing. Oh, I'll delete. Boom. Yep. And so there you are, peering in. What you see is a couple of gorgeous boys. I believe it's Control Z. Nope. That is not at all what I wanted to do.
What is that?
That's pretty funky, though. That's a vision block.
That is usually the vision block. Boop. I meant to say, click on you, and it's Control. Sorry, Shift Z. Bam.
Oh, what?
Oh!
Oh!
They have scorpion tails?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
That is exactly what I thought it was, and that is terrifying. We are not fighting these things 100%.
As soon as the door opens up and you guys look inside, you immediately are struck with a degree of fear. Everybody make me a will saving throw.
Okay. And you can. Is this after we? Hey, cool. Success. And then. Oh!
Wow!
We're not scared at all.
I mean, we're terrified, but we're not magically terrified.
That was genuinely incredible. Good job, guys. So you guys open up the door, and what you see is the creatures, which maybe they weren't aware of you, but they're definitely looking at you now. So when you open up the door and look at them, and again they're looking at you, you can see that they almost seem to have a smile across their faces as one of them starts to move towards you. I'm going to say it's this one right here. Starts to move towards you. Now, Tesh, what you notice is the one that starts to move towards you is the one that has the stronger conjuration magics lingering on top of it. You don't necessarily know what that means. And maybe if you had time to analyze it in your mind, you just, right now, or you may do will save, but in the moment, so you don't have time at the moment, but starts to move towards you guys, and it does so menacingly.
So we don't see any sign of the transmutation creature?
You do not currently. Not in the immediate vicinity.
But
But
can
there are two doors behind them, and there's a stairwell to the north and south of this of this place.
Okay. We're still in a silence bubble. Just gesturing to Raymond to drop the silence.
I mean, it's like an item. I don't think it's necessarily held by him. Care, Scott?
It is linked onto your sword. Crashed onto your sword. If your sword's in the area, you can toss your sword to the side, which have multiple benefits.
No. But I could take a few steps back.
Yeah, you could step out of the way and then.
What's the range on the silence?
I think it's 10-foot diameter. It's really small.
Okay. We could make it a bargain. I am the one who summoned you into this world. We don't mean you harm, and we actually have a situation where we might be able to aid you.
So when you say that, one of them,
I love that they both jump back. Honestly,
one of them, when you say that, the one advancing stops and turns back to the other one and speaks in a language that's like. As they speak this language, you can literally feel the world around you feeling darker. You can feel the world around you actually seems to have this impending kind of doom that exists onto it. If you weren't frightened before, you feel a little so now. You know what I mean? Because
Ash Grimmatu. Wait, what? It's not dark speech.
um,
That's how they explain it in Lord of the Rings.
close enough. So it's actually so much. Has so much of like an essence behind the speech. Even the two of them that can't hear the words and watching the words mouthed, even just out of the side of a mouth by a creature with no lips, they also are getting a shiver down their spines because of how horrifying it is. Either way, it turns to the other one and says these words. The other one responds in kind and same language and just as frightening. The one that had been advancing beforehand takes another step forward. Excuse me. Oh, I keep yawning because I haven't had my coffee yet. It's brewed, I just need to pour it. So, the one that was advancing takes another step forward and says to you, "What deal?"
You wish to take this keeper's rule, or you wish to rule this area. We have by no means wish to intrude with that. In fact, there is actually a curse on this land. You might be able to feel it, that impedes anyone who wishes to rule here. We intend to break that curse, which would allow you to rule without having that curse apply to you at all. And we merely just wish to break the sword, or take the sword and break the curse on the sword that is in the other room that you are obviously following. And that would help you, and we by no means wish to impede you. I mean, I summoned you here, albeit not on purpose, but it did work out well.
Turns to the other one. They seem, same language, to be having a communication with each other for a little while.
This little one thinks we want to rule. We merely want to destroy.
It turns back. It turns back to you after a minute of just like being almost. That minute almost seems to drag on because of just how dark and how much it affects your soul just by watching the conversation happening. Right. So, anyways, after it finishes its speech, it turns back to you and says, "Curse will be broken if you take the creature."
The sword that this creature has, that is what we need to take. We will then need to dominate it, as well as breaking some of the other parts of the curse at the same time that would break the curse on this land. We don't need the creature alive.
And we don't need you to do what is to be done. Others can do. You can have sword if you entertain us.
Okay. You know what? I can actually do something here.
Valorant starts juggling.
No, no. I can use the Mama's Wrath to throw my voice and, I don't know, take a potion or something to I don't know. I just what kind of entertainment would you like?
I got a vast array of knock jokes.
Here is deal. You will take sword if and only if you are to defeat the monster that holds the sword. Defeats the monster and you can take sword. You may only take monster if you swear to avoid these lands.
I would turn back to the others. That seems reasonable.
At this point in time, somewhere around now, because they were, like I said, he talked for a full minute at one point in time. They can hear this conversation.
They want us to defeat the beast, correct?
Yes.
That suggests to me that they fear its power.
I do.
One would just kind of elbow Rayron and just just give him like 1,000-yard stare.
I believe they wish for entertainment, and us fighting this creature would be entertaining for them. Is that correct? Because they can understand everything we say here, so
Yeah, but it's whether or not they can hear it.
that they have. Well, actually, I guess I don't know that.
Yeah, you filthy metagamers.
Well, so do we take the deal? I say we take the deal.
I do not think I would be much entertainment in my current state. I am slightly injured, but I have no armor.
We can put on.
I only have.
You should see him in action with his full gear. I assume it will be quite entertaining for you.
It would not be entertaining if the mortals were not able to die.
I think you'll find we're very capable of dying to that creature. In fact, we might be a little too capable of dying to that creature. It might not be entertaining enough.
Then how can we trust you are the ones to break the curse if you can't handle a simple creature? I guess I shall just devour you instead.
You just see Valerie just staring at Rayward like...
Perhaps if we were to have but a few moments to prepare ourselves to face this creature. You must understand that mere mortals such as ourselves cannot ready ourselves for an encounter such as this with a being of such greatness and then simply fight a creature afterwards. We must have some time to recover from the shaking in my boots.
It looks at you and says, "You will have an hour."
He bows his head.
It gestures towards the building immediately behind you and says, "Pray, you'll need it."
I'm just checking something. Okay, so we have 6 health. Okay. I guess you could look for armor in the building.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a look. Thanks, guys.
Oh, it's a church.
It's
okay.
an actual church. I accidentally started moving on. Get in there, boy.
Are there any corpses wearing armor in here that he can wear?
There actually are corpses in here. However, this is where things get a little strange. When you guys come into the church and you see corpses that are in there, the corpses do not look as though they've been killed by some sort of devil.
Because
or
they
anything.
can't enter the ground because it's sanctified by the martyr.
It does not look like it was killed by the devil. Any like large spines from the back stabbing into it, or any large. It actually looks like all the injuries to the people inside here are done by cleaving wounds of some sort of manufactured weaponry.
So that thing. Okay, I'm looking at what sort
It's
of...
about to come charging through. They just tricked us. Why did we believe a devil? That was dumb. Well, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that was actually, yeah.
So you guys are currently inside the church and are able to kind of relax. They did promise you an hour. I mean, maybe they weren't lying. Maybe they were. What's your plan for that time that you have?
I am going to go to 1, and I'm going to cast... Where is it?
Admiral Akbar shouts from the corner.
I actually found that I have... I don't even have to cast anything. I have a potion of... Oh, no, I guess we should save moderate wounds instead of...
Yeah.
I thought it was a minor wounds. No, I'll actually save that.
More importantly, you said there were corpses with armor here.
What I said was there are corpses in here. The corpses were that of the bandits that you had faced beforehand. I'm actually just quickly looking up the statistics for those baddies.
They had ACs of what, 14?
15 or something like that, I think it was. So I'm just trying to look them up really quickly so I can get their actual...
Because they wielded bucklers.
Correct, but I'm pretty sure they also wore some basic armor as well.
They did, yeah.
So just give me one moment to find their stats, and I'll tell you what they wore for armor. Nope, wasn't those guys.
Spider climb. How long does that last? 10 minutes. Okay.
You're gonna drink that spider climb to the roof, stand on the top, just going choo 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 choo.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Just become a portal turret.
Exactly.
Was never here. Was never here.
My idea was like, how can I avoid their constant damage?
Was it this guy? Because they had longbow. Where the hell were you?
We also have a scroll of desecrate.
Don't use that in the holy ground.
No. We have a scroll of Tensor's floating disc. That can be how we get out of here.
Did you use this scroll of Tensor's floating disc to get you guys outside of the?
Yeah. Scott didn't,
okay, so
Scott
that's
didn't wipe it
gone.
off your thing. Scott, that's so naughty.
Let me get rid of it.
I deleted a lot of stuff that you guys used off of his character sheet, but I just forgot that one. He's like, wait a second. A lot of stuff that you. What the hell happened? Why are you using all my magic items? Why aren't you using their magic items? I was looking in the wrong area. That's why. Bad,
okay,
Scott. Bad.
Trying to see if we have anything that can help. I don't think I do, unfortunately. Spider's climb is the only thing that is useful, and is mostly only useful for me.
So sorry. Almost done looking.
Delay poison, whatever the hell that does.
It literally delays poison. So if you are poison, so poison has a time frame, like it affects you. Like let's say you're poisoned, but the poison only really hurts you for over the course of an hour. But delay poison lasts for 3 hours. The poison still runs its course. You're just not affected by it during the time of that spell. So if it lasts only an hour and the spell lasts for 3 hours, the poison's already run its course. By the time the spell ends, you're safe.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
A potion of Cat's Grace.
That's very useful for Neil. Oh,
Yeah, you might want to use
wait.
that.
Was very useful for Neil.
Okay, we can use it to combat his luck. I will give you the potion to take like before the fight starts. So, potion of Cat's Grace.
Put that in my bag.
Okay. I have a potion of magic weapon.
Not useful for me.
Jake can use it. He doesn't need it.
Did that thing seem to take less damage from things that weren't magical?
It's useful for one though, yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah. What does it do? Does it actually add damage and stuff? Because if so, then I'm just straight up giving it to 1.
Plus to
It's
hit,
like a
chance to hit
+1
and damage.
enhancement. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I'm
You found those boys yet, Scott?
I
Feel free to
can't
have
find the
that.
exact one, but I found one that's good enough. So they were wearing a studded leather armor.
Can we equip ourselves?
Of course,
potion of magic weapons for you,
dragon drop studded leather.
Jake. Studded leather. Ooh.
A conga line of fortitude saves.
Okay, so let me remove that magic weapon.
So you guys are getting on your armor. You're looking over spells and whatnot that you can apply to your character sheets.
Can you show me how to equip it, Scott?
If you just find it in the items in the I bar, if you just search
Okay, yeah.
and then you can
What
drag
is
it
the-
across to AC items and it should appear there. Or it should appear in gear and then also appear in AC items.
Oh, okay, wait. I have an idea. Can I try and detect whatever the hell this quarterstaff is yet? Is it
Not yet.
That I can. Okay, so I don't get another chance at that.
Not until you level up.
Just use it, my dude.
Does it work that way?
You can.
I mean, this is the time to fucking risk things like that. What's the elemental gem that I have in my inventory?
That had to do with, remember the gem that you had found when you were down inside the keep?
It's got a beautiful sort of white golden glow to it, but we don't know what it is.
Correct.
Cool. Okay, got it. Pipes of sounding.
they're like ghost sound. You go, and it actually makes a noise over there.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, someone else should have that because I can already do that.
We thought we'd give that to you because then in like in important combat you could just get a mountain. No, you've just got many you've got many musical instruments. You've got a bell, you've got pipes.
That's true,
now.
actually. I mean, I have the mummer's rough. Which, by the way, does anyone else want that?
What is it?
It gives you a +5 to faking someone else's voice. I see a thing and I'm terrified. +5 to fake someone else's voice.
Oh wow, what is that?
It
A
also allows you to
linguistics
throw
check?
your voice. A bluff check.
I mean, I could. My bluff
And it also allows you to throw your voice for once a day for free, I believe.
my bluff isn't abysmal.
Yeah, it allows you to throw your voice for free once a day.
What was it? Mama's.
Mummer's rough.
Like rough as in round the neck rough?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I put. I had to look it up what it did.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna pour a coffee.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah,
So that's a
Mummer's
plus
rough.
Wow.
Let me get rid of that from my
Plus
sheet
8 on
now.
bluff now.
It's only on bluff for faking someone else's voice.
Okay.
So that's the key thing. And yeah, it allows you to throw your throw your voice once a day. Rough. I'll link you the thing. There you go. Oh, you got it? Sweet. I think that's all I have in my inventory that'll be useful at this point. I've got the potion ready to use on someone. Oh! You know something I do have if worse comes to worse? I have a scroll of dismissal. And a scroll of disrupt link.
I mean, that might have been good if you'd used it straight away.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't know it was in my inventory.
But you could arguably dismiss the one that was summoned.
Yeah,
You can't dismiss him though, because he's no longer summoned.
that's true actually. But I mean, I don't think we want to go for that. That's a worst case scenario. Me like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
With dismissal, isn't it? You can dismiss it as if it's not native to that plane.
Oh, can you?
I think so.
Let me look it up.
I think it's anything that's not native to that plane, the plane that you're on.
Extra plane a creature back to its plane if it fails a will save though, so it has to save a
How
will.
long for?
I think it sends it back permanently.
It just there's a 20% subject to the plane other than its own. But yeah, no, if it works, it just sends it back. It doesn't have a limit.
Because if we did that on the OG one, then both of them would disappear. Potentially.
Is that how that works? Maybe actually.
Well, because you can't. It's not a permanent summon, is it? Oh, I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
It's
how
got a
summon...
conjuration magic around itself though, so around the new one. So that
You
that
don't
may
know that was the new one necessarily. Because that could be lingering conjuration magic from the fact that he has just conjured it, or that's the new one and it's conjured.
Well, I mean, I think it is because of the way that one kept going back to the
That's
other one.
true.
and
Yeah.
Well, why don't you, because you have that extended period of time to think about things, as I was saying beforehand, that hour to pray. Because Neil did good RP, so I allowed him to circumvent having to roll, saved by the schnoz. Schnoz is a nose, not a mouth. Moving on.
Saved by the schnoz. I did indeed brown nose that creature.
Could you roll me? Could you roll me a spellcraft check and don't suck?
Who's rolling it?
Oh God!
There you go.
That was terrifying.
Now, I know a 28 is really high, but you're dealing with some shit that's way over your character's expertise.
I can assist.
I was gonna say higher is always better. Do you want
Because
to Twitch chat?
I am trained in spellcraft.
Do you want a Twitch chat roll of luck that one? He can't assist. He's still trying to remember how to hold the dagger.
Realistically, he could assist though. No, is that so? Is he assisting? Is that's what I'm saying?
What was that?
Okay.
Is he actually assisting? Because that changes things.
I'll allow him to assist with her +1.
Okay.
It's not his field of expertise either. It's just not as well over both you guys' heads.
I'm trained. 100%
Okay, so
trained. There's
do
a
I-
tick.
if
I've
I
got a
wanna
tick
reach-
on a piece of paper.
If I want to reach a DC of 30, I have
I
to
got a
roll a
tick,
luck.
too.
But if I roll a DC, if I roll a luck, no matter what, I hit a DC of 30. Do I
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't actually know what Scott's asking us to do right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You really are
We
Neil.
have 3 left. Yeah.
Neil, move to Australia, find these boys, and get your luck back. Oh, this is awesome. So, anyways, the one with the extra aura onto it, you would believe, conversation back and forth, the miscast spell would have summoned that one here. They are still a summoned creature, just outside the confines of the spell. Not truly 100% summoned. Now they're able to detect magic and look at it. Still as though they were summoned here, but they're linked to this world as weaker. So something as grand as dismissal might not even be what's needed to get rid of him. Maybe even something as simple as a dispel magic could be used to send him back. Because you have to imagine the spell that pulled him here. Some of the rules, if it were broken, the duration went from from round per level, whatever, to permanent. However, the other one in the room, the one that it conjured, that one is anchored here. That one is now here completely and entirely in its essence. And so that one would have to be either destroyed or dismissed to be sent back.
Would I know if Disrupt Link would be enough?
That's a hard try. Disrupt Link is a lower level spell than Dispel Magic. I want to say Dispel Magic is 3 and Disrupt Link is 2. Dispel Magic completely ends a spell. Disrupt Link disconnects somebody's attachment to the spell. So, for instance, if you have like a summoned creature and you control it, you break that control over the summoned creature. You are dealing with a summoned creature. It might. You think is probably a 50-50 shot as to whether or not that would work. Good odds, but not great odds.
Yeah, no, this is the worst case scenario situation. This is not something we want to deal with if we have to, but it is a situation we can deal with.
Speaking of which, we should discuss how we are going to defeat this large boy. So,
Yep.
our short rest's a thing in this.
No.
No, didn't think so. We need one to tank, argue, and I'm considering we could give him the Cat's Grace for the buff to AC.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Because he could Shield of Faith and Cat's Grace and get that car out your mouth, young man. Please,
Can
someone
I get another
Photoshop
shot at
that.
the unknown?
On green screen it.
Can I get another shot at the unknown belt? Have I still only done one try at that so far?
That's funny. It looks black on both sides because it's the exact same color as my green screen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I just realized that. Okay, what were you asking, Tesh?
Okay, so when I last played, I'd only had one shot at the unknown belt on this level. Can I have another shot now to see what it is in case that helps us?
1 per level is the rules.
Oh my god, I'm never going to see what that thing is.
Cat's Grace. The spell grants a +4 enhancement bonus. It's probably
So what would that bring my AC up by 2?
yeah. So it's probably worth you having along with Shield of Faith and your Judgment. If you
I
have
can't
that.
judgment because I've already done that.
Yeah,
but
so-
I do have a potion of bark skin, which gives me +2 AC as well. So it'll bring my AC with all my stuff to 22.
Okay. So
Just
I'll
plug
give
all
you
of
that
it.
potion of Cat's Grace. Don't have it until our hour's nearly up.
Yeah, I'll have it because there's 3 potions I think I want to take. Bull Strength, Cat's Grace, and the bark skin.
Yep.
And yeah, you were taking that as we go into the fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, Scott's frozen.